When people picture dinosaurs, massive, stomping, long-necked creatures roaming across arid deserts may come to mind. But the city of Bristol is home to its own, rather different dinosaurian resident. 201 million years ago, during the Triassic era, the land that now forms the south of England lay close to the equator and consisted of a series of tropical islands. Not that we're jealous. These islands were home to Thecodontosaurus, a sheep-sized, herbivorous early dinosaur that grazed on the conifers that made up the island's vegetation. This was a time before grass or flowering plants existed as we know them today. Thecodontosaurus, or Theco as it is affectionately known by its legions of fans, was a prosauropod, an early ancestor of the long-necked sauropods of the Jurassic. Theco's name means socket-toothed lizard and comes from its dentition. The roots of Theco's teeth aren't fused to the jawbone as in squamates today, but instead sat in distinct tooth sockets, so their name is derived from the Greek theek, meaning socket, and odus, meaning tooth. Its small, leaf-shaped teeth were ideal for snipping away at foliage, with large eyes on the lookout for the carnivorous dinosaurs that stalked the tropical paradise on the lookout for Theco-sized prey. Theco's island home was formed from limestone, and karstification led to the formation of underground caves. During flooding events, soil, plant materials, and the remains of any dinosaurs unlucky enough to be nearby would be washed into these caves and fissures into the limestone. This jumbled up mix of reddish Triassic soil, limestone blocks, and the bones of Thecodontosaurus lithified into the stone we find around Bristol today. If you look closely at the walls of Bristol Zoo, you'll see this characteristic red and white rock. Look closely and you might be lucky enough to spot a tooth or bone fragment of Theco. It was during excavations for this building stone that, in a quarry in the Clifton Downs area of Bristol, the remains of Thecodontosaurus first saw the light after over 200 million years. Workers uncovered the bones and brought them to the curator of Bristol Museum, Samuel Stutchbury, who, together with local surgeon Henry Riley, named and described Theco. Over the next few years, more and more remains of the diminutive dinosaur were excavated. Over 200 fragments from various individuals of different ages and sexes showed that Theco was bipedal, with a strong tail, a forward-leaning stance, and probably only 1 to 2 meters in length. However, what Theco lacks in the size department, it makes up in significance. It represents the 4th dinosaur ever discovered. Unfortunately, this means our Theco narrowly missed out on a spot for a 50p coin. In fact, Theco was described even before the concept of dinosaurs came into existence, with its discoverers instead assigning it to the squamates, the snakes and lizards. 8 years later, when Richard Owen first brought the idea of dinosaurs to the world, he too refuted Theco's identification as a dinosaur, and it took Darwin's bulldog, Thomas Huxley, to link Theco to the Dinosauria, and it took several decades for it to be assigned to the correct group. Theco is also significant in being one of the first known herbivorous dinosaurs, and one of the most basal sauropodomorphs found in the Northern Hemisphere. This means Theco represents an important step in the ecological evolution of sauropodomorphs. Although discovered nearly 200 years ago, Theco is still a hot topic of research in its hometown of Bristol, and paleontologists are still learning from its fossils about both the environment it lived in and the evolution of the sauropods. Recent studies by PhD student Antonio at the University of Bristol have given further insight into Theco's stature, suggesting that it was an agile, bipedal animal, perfectly adapted for darting around early tropical forests. Today, Theco plays a vital role in paleontological outreach as the face of the Bristol Dinosaur Project, a public engagement and educational initiative run by the University of Bristol. A full-sized model of Thecodontosaurus, created by renowned paleoartist Bob Nichols in 2013, has been for many Bristol schoolchildren their induction to dinosaurs and paleontology, greeting them as they walk up the steps into the earth science floor of the Bristol Museum. Within the university itself, another model of Thecodontosaurus, nicknamed Dr. Polly Russell, wishes many students good luck in their final exams with a customary high five, and likes to dress up for the occasion, as well as celebrating the holidays. It seems fitting that the paleontology students of Bristol celebrate alongside Theco when graduating, considering they go on to great things, just like Theco's lineage went on to become some of the most impressive animals ever to have walked the earth.